Hello, this is Lacquerography, and this is my wish list for September 2025's Hella Handmade Creations. I've already gone ahead and made a preliminary first impressions wish list, and right now, this is an amazing month. I have 21 items that are catching my eye. Let's dive right in and take a look at the 21 listings that have grabbed my attention this month. The first item on my wish list is actually a duo offering, and this one is by Baroness X. And this duo is Cartomancy and the Hanged Man. Looking down on the listing here, it does say that there is no cap for this duo offering. So what that means at this point is that this maker, Baroness X, can create as many of these duos as are needed to fulfill all orders this month. These items are also available individually, but it is actually right now the duo that was grabbing my attention. Baroness X continues their tarot cards inspired series. Cartomancy, and I hope I'm saying that correctly, is a gold shimmer in a gray base. It's a sister to London Fog Latte, Matcha, the Empress, the Moon, and the Tower. The Hanged Man is a turquoise magnetic in a clear base for layering. It has a rainbow of iridescent flakes as well. Now it does add in the comment down here that the Hanged Man is shown over Cartomancy, black, purple, and a deep blue. So when I saw this listing, it was actually the gold shimmer in the gray base that caught my attention immediately. And when I read the listings to see that this was actually a sister polish to London Fog Latte, Matcha, the Empress, the Moon, and the Tower, I could see why it caught my attention. I own several of these, and they truly are beautiful. Just a lovely finish on these polishes. I actually don't own too many items from Baroness X, but I really am glad to have these in my collection. So in a way, it didn't surprise me that Cartomancy caught my eye. I'm really intrigued, though, by this duo as a whole. But I do have to say I'm a little bit hesitant because I am a little bit unclear about what I'm seeing with regard to the topper aspect of this duo, the Hanged Man. It says in the listing here that it's shown over Cartomancy, black, purple, and a deep blue. So it's shown over top of 4 different bases, which is actually very versatile. And so I think what I have to do before I make up my mind on whether this one's actually going to remain on my wish list and make it into my cart when the shop opens on September 14th is I'm going to have to really study that topper quite closely. Here is the single listing for that topper, the Hanged Man. It really is stunningly beautiful. I guess what I wish is that I just had a little bit more information about the swatching conditions here in all these photos. It is really reassuring to me, though, that I'm loving the look of it pretty much in every photo. I mean, I'm really not sure, but here I'm kind of guessing that this is swatched maybe over black, perhaps over a deep blue. It's a little bit hard to tell. For this one here, I believe that I'm seeing it swatched over Cartomancy because it does have that sort of grayed gold, almost like a greenish kind of effect once it's layered. But again, I can't exactly be sure. It really is quite lovely though. That turquoise aspect to this topper really is quite vibrant. The way that these flakes act throughout it, it really is a standout. I've never seen anything quite like it, but before I can jump and make this purchase, I do have to be sure that I really know what I'm getting. This really interesting duo is by Baroness X, and the components of this duo are Cartomancy and the Hanged Man. This next one up is by Bee's Knees Lacquer, and this one is called the Lusty Aragonian Maid. This one is listed as being a capped pre-order, and taking a look down through the description, it says 500 cap. What that means is that in this case, the maker, Bee's Knees Lacquer, is committing to creating 500 of these polishes before it's considered sold out. Bee's Knees Lacquer continues with their Oblivion series with a polish inspired by the iconic book From Oblivion. The Lusty Aragonian Maid is a black polish with gold to green multichrome magnetic shimmer and a scattering of hollow flakes. So Bee's Knees Lacquer is a brand that I adore. My Bee's Knees Lacquer collection is quite enormous at this point, and there's something about their polishes that even if a color, I'm not quite sure about it, like the feel of the formula going on my nail, it always feels like silk or satin. There's something about that application, no matter what the finish, that just works for me every single time. So I'm looking at this polish and it is quite gorgeous. It's deep, it's moody. I'm intrigued by the fact that this one is the black polish with the gold to green multi-chrome magnetic shimmer. And then of course there's some hollow flakes in it as well. It's that multi-chrome aspect that kind of has me intrigued. It is very moody. To me, it's incredibly fall-like. But I have been purchasing quite a few Bee's Knees Lacquer polishes, and it seems like they've been releasing some gorgeous magnetics lately, but I just haven't had the time in my schedule to give my nails the kind of attention and focus it takes to give my nails a magnetic treatment with nail polish. So I'm a little bit hesitant to jump for this one here. It is quite interesting though. It does look like there is quite a significant amount of hollow flakes in it. It's described as being a scattering of hollow flakes, but I am seeing them in a swatch photo like this one kind of pick up quite well. So it seems to my eye anyway that there is an amount of holographic flake, that it's not just a subtle quantity. This magnetic effect, like it really is quite stunning. It looks to my eye here that I'm seeing mostly probably velvet effect on these nails here, on the swatcher's nails. I'm not exactly sure about the swatcher's middle finger, I guess second from the left. It looks like that one might be perhaps unmagnetized because it does have a darker type of effect than the other nails with it, which I think I can pretty safely say are done in the velvet effect. But wow, that multi-chrome aspect really does look quite striking. I'll have to think about this one and take a look at the Bee's Knees Lacquer polishes that I already have in my collection. I do like it very much and I adore this brand, but I really have to think about whether, when my wish list is this enormous, if this one really is a strong enough contender and unique enough in my collection of Bee's Knees Lacquer polishes, and one that I would use in order to make that final cut. I truly am impressed by this one though. This interesting magnetic multi-chrome with the hollow flakes is by Bee's Knees Lacquer, the Lusty Aragonian Maid. This next polish up is by Cleona Cosmetics, and this one is called Goblin Shark. For this polish, looking down through the description, there is no availability cap currently listed. Cleona Cosmetics continues their Creepy and Cute Aquatic Creatures series with a polish inspired by the goblin shark. These deep-sea dwelling, and I think you say it, cartilaginous fish, are an ancient species of shark whose lineage goes back 125 million years. These bizarre and quite frankly creepy-looking creatures are sometimes referred to as living fossils and detect their prey through electroreception in the ocean depths. Goblin Shark is a shark skin gray based magnetic with a fleshy pink tinged magnetic pull. This eerie polish is perfect to get you in the Halloween spirit. We recommend applying 2 coats to build opacity, then magnetizing the third. Now I'm really quite sure that this one is going to make my final shopping cart this month. This kind of a colorway is one that I can wear all seasons throughout the year and pretty much for any type of occasion. This grayed out polish with a pink flash, even though it's a magnetic, I think is a polish that I could pretty much wear for any type of occasion that I can imagine. It could be flashy if you wanted to play it up as so, but also there is such a nice, subtle, neutral nature about this one, but it's like a neutral, but way, way better in just a way that only indie polishes can make. I am also a Canadian and I do try to support Cleona Cosmetics whenever I possibly can and whenever a polish catches my interest, and this one is definitely one of those. It's just so beautiful. I think what I'm seeing here is this polish probably magnetized on this swatcher's ring finger in the cat eye style. And I'm not sure which other fingers are featuring the velvet effect. Probably the pinky finger, possibly the middle finger. I'm guessing that possibly the index finger, although maybe it's the middle finger, might be done unmagnetized, but I really can't be sure. All I know is I love this polish in any state. That grayed out nature really does tone down this indie polish in a way that I think would be incredibly versatile. But yet you can play it up however you wish. It's kind of a chameleon of a polish. You play with it in terms of its magnetic effect, probably its opacity. I just really think that this one is quite gorgeous and serviceable, and I just love it. This beautiful neutral leaning magnetic is by Cleona Cosmetics, Goblin Shark. This next polish up is by Colores de Carol, and this one is called The Herbalist. This one again is a polish without an availability cap. Colores de Carol begins a new series called The Witching Hour, inspired by magic, mystery, and mischief of witches from folklore, fantasy, and modern mystique. The first polish is inspired by the herbalist. She brews her potions in the forest with roots, herbs, and whispers spells. The herbalist is an olive green crelly with gold flakes and UCC flakes. I'm a green lover and I love fall, so this one was a no-brainer for me to add to my wish list. The base color of this, the olive green, just screams every type of fall vibe. The flakies here, I think, are a really elegant take on fall leaves as well. It's subtle, but yet clearly there. I find that this polish has a moodiness. It is quite elegant as well. I've always been drawn to these olive greens. Some people might call olive greens kind of a prugly type color, but I just call them beautiful. I find them elegant. I am a green lover anyway, so I pretty much love any type of a green polish. I find this one earthy, but yet sparkly. It is, for me, just such a lovely juxtaposition between these two kind of vibes, earthy and sparkly. I'm kind of interested in the fact here too that it seems to appear a little bit differently on different swatchers. Here I find it has quite a light effect. I'm not sure if it's because this is a lighter skinned swatcher, but then again over here, on this swatcher, again, quite light skinned, it does appear quite a bit darker. I don't know if that's due to lighting. I don't know if it's due to the number of coats or the opacity that's happening here. I really enjoy it however it appears though. It truly, in all of these images, always appears to be olive toned. And I can't deny the sparkle that's brought about by these gorgeous flakes, both the gold flakes and the UCC flakes. Colores de Carol is actually a brand that's a little bit difficult for me to get a hold of. There is at this point no Canadian stockist for Colores de Carol that I know of anyway, and my only opportunity to get regular access to this brand is through a collaboration website opportunity like Hella Handmade Creations. And I truly love the formula of every Colores de Carol polish that I own, no matter what the formula type. This beautiful olive, this fall in a bottle polish is by Colores de Carol, the Herbalist. This next polish up is by Cracked Polish, and this one is called Seattle Freeze. There is an availability cap listed for this polish of only 350. Cracked Polish begins a new series inspired by Seattle weather called It's Not You, It's the Weather. Seattle Freeze is a brown blue with blue-purple shimmers. This is such an interesting, moody polish that seems to me quite original and unique. This brown-blue base color, I love a great brown, and this brown blue looks so interesting to me, and the blue-purple shimmers as well, so it kind of coordinates, but yet also has this contrasting effect as well. It really is quite vibrant among this murkier base. For whatever reason, this one is making me think of November. There's something about the brown, the coolness of this with the added blue-purple shimmer through here that really is making me think of November. when all those fall leaves have already descended and are now on the ground, starting to turn brown. I find that in my part of the world, in Ontario, Canada, brown does end up being quite a predominant color until the snow starts to fall. That blue-purple shimmer really does seem to take over in such a fascinating way. This is another one that I think looks equally beautiful on all the swatchers shown here. This color appears to me to be flattering. It is kind of neutral with it being a deep, rich brown, but it's got that edge to it with this cool shimmer. I can see myself wearing this with like a black sweater dress, black tights, Doc Martens, and this really neat nail polish. I can actually see how this would fit in my life. It gives me sort of a cozy, edgy vibe. I'm really liking this one. I think that this polish might just end up being one of my top picks this month as well. This interesting brown shimmery polish is by Cracked Polish, Seattle Freeze. This next polish up is another one by Cracked Polish, and this is their Halloween offering. And this one is called Patch Me If You Can. This is another capped offering with only 350 being made available this month. Cracked Polish brings us a polish for Halloween inspired by pumpkin and fall vibes. Patch Me If You Can is an orange with yellow and green shimmers. Now, part of the reason why my wish list is so enormous, with 21 sitting in the wish list right now, this preliminary first impressions wish list, is because several of the brands have Halloween offerings alongside their regular monthly offerings. Cracked Polish is one of those brands, and in their case, both offerings, the regular offering and the Halloween offering, are catching my eye. This orange, orange is another one of my favorite colors in life. My two main favorite colors, and I have many, I wear pretty much everything, really, whether it looks good on me or not. But my two favorite colors in life are green and orange. I love them both. And I do find that orange polishes are widely available in the fall and just not as much throughout the rest of the year. And this one is such a beautiful example of an orange. This orange is described as being just orange with yellow and green shimmers. It does have that warmth running through it. I'm loving that bottle shot there, the way that warm shimmer going from yellow to green, it's picking that all up. It's got that warmth and the glow, but it does have that tinge of green as well. I find it gives it quite a warm effect. I guess that tinge of green does act to kind of cool it off a little. I will have to take a look at my collection to see how this might compare to some other oranges in my collection, but I really don't think I have anything quite like it. I just find that oranges are maybe a little bit less loved and a little bit less common year-round as polish offerings. You see them most of the time in the fall. And a lot of my oranges tend to be either like fall flaky type polishes, or also I have a decent collection of orange neons as well. This one doesn't fall into either of those categories, so I think I actually might be quite safe, and this one might fill a bit of an orange shimmer void in my collection. The one brand that I am thinking I'll have to dive deeper into my collection to check out is Bee's Knees Lacquer, because I do have quite a few of these less popular colors, ones that people might consider sort of pruglies, through my Bee's Knees Lacquer collection. And I do know that they don't shy away from offering oranges throughout the year. So I may have to dive into my collection and see what I have in my Bee's Knees Lacquer drawers to see if I have anything quite like this. But I really do enjoy this. Another one that looks equally flattering on any skin tone. This one is very tempting to me. This beautiful orange shimmer is by Cracked Polish, Patch Me If You Can. This next one up is by Cuticula, and this one is called Flutter in Fall. This one is not capped, so it does say that there's no current availability cap. I will have to watch out for that because I do really enjoy this polish. I'd hate to risk this one selling out before I can get a hold of it. Cuticula begins a new series called Wings of a Butterfly, with the first polish inspired by an image of a monarch butterfly surrounded by fall leaves. Flutter in Fall is a deep brick reddish brown with orange, yellow, gold crystal flakes, orange gold glass flakes, and black flakes. I love this polish and I love what it's trying to portray. For me, the monarch butterfly is such a symbol of this time of year, August flowing into September in my part of the world. And monarch butterflies are a species that we're very aware of here. I can really vividly remember that when I was young, monarch butterflies were all over the place. And now you get really excited when you spot one because they are becoming more and more rare. People in my area really do put out their best effort and grow milkweed in their own yards, butterfly gardens as well, to try to attract these incredible butterflies and help them along their lifespan and their migratory path. Back to this polish though, I really think that this embodies all those gorgeous colors of a monarch butterfly. Cuticula does these flaky polishes really like no other. I find that they've mastered this formula, and every single polish of theirs I have in this type of formula is just an utter standout. The way this one glows, in a way it looks like burning embers, but it is still unmistakably all the colors of a monarch butterfly. The effect of the layering with that sort of jellyish base and all those flakes, it really is perfection whenever Cuticula does it. And not only does this one embody the visual of a monarch butterfly, but it makes my orange loving heart incredibly happy. I can safely say that this polish will be in my shopping cart when the shop opens. This is definitely a top pick of mine. This gorgeous flaky polish is by Cuticula, Flutter in Fall. This next polish up is also by Cuticula. This is their Halloween offering this month called Caramel Apple Pop. This one as well, luckily, does not have an availability cap. Cuticula brings us a polish for Halloween inspired by one of their favorite Halloween candies, Caramel Apple Pops. Caramel Apple Pop has a green apple base with orange, yellow, gold, green shifting crystal flakes and orange, yellow, gold multi-chrome flakes. Now I'm completely unfamiliar with this candy, Caramel Apple Pop. I've actually never heard of it. I should probably look it up and see what it's all about. But as a green lover, as a lover of fall, I adore this polish. This base color, this green apple base, that's exactly what it is. Like this one really reminds me of like a Granny Smith apple, and I love apples. Apples are probably my number one favorite food in the entire world. I love them and I eat multiple every single day. But then it's not just this base color. These flakies are everything. Taking a look a little bit closer, not only, I guess, does this embody the idea of caramel apple pop, which I'm just not that familiar with, so I can't really attest to how closely that matches the inspiration. But this to me is such a quintessential fall polish. This to me looks like September and early October in a bottle. I love it. Cuticula is getting all the love from me this month, and this one is absolutely another top pick of mine. This stunning apple green flaky is by Cuticula. This is their Halloween offering, Caramel Apple Pop. This next polish up is by Emily Damali, and this is their encore offering called Opalite. This one does have an availability cap this month, with only 320 being made available. For their encore, Emily Damali has chosen a polish from their Rocks and Minerals series. Opalite has a pale blue crelly base with a copper gold green aurora shimmer. Now this is their encore offering. So every month, Hella Handmade Creations alphabetically invites some of the makers, in this case we're in the E range this month, they invite makers to bring back a popular polish from the past and remake it and resell it for this month's shop. So again, it's only a limited offering, just available for the time that the shop is open from September the 14th to September 21st. And in this case, until it's sold out, because there is an availability cap here of just 320. Now, I do recall that this did come out when I knew about Hella Handmade Creations, and I didn't pick it up the first time. And I kind of wonder why it is that I didn't pick it up, because this one really is stunning. This one looks like just crisp blue skies to me. It looks like sunlight. It also, to me, has a bit of a frosty look about it too. And I guess by frosty, I should specify that I mean like wintry effect. Although it does have that golden warmth to it as well, with a copper gold green aurora shimmer. I have to say that this just looks unbelievable with the stone being held here as well. And I am assuming that, I'm not sure who the swatcher is, and there's no further information here, but I've got to assume that this is this polish photographed with some opalite. And if it is, I mean, how beautiful is that? The base color and that shimmer really are perfection in the way Emily Damali has executed their interpretation of this inspiration. I really can't fathom why I didn't pick this polish up the first time. All I can think of is either, I don't know, maybe there was too much else that I was adding to my cart that month, or perhaps have my tastes changed? Or maybe did it sell out at the time and that maybe I attempted to get it, but I couldn't get my hands on it before other shoppers managed to secure it before I could. I really can't be sure. But this one is on my wish list, and it's going to stay on my wish list for the time being. But I really do have to contemplate this one, because when I didn't get it the first time, is this just a wonderful chance for me to have a second crack at it if it didn't work out the first time? Or really, why was it that I passed it up the first time? I don't really recall. But for now, this one is staying on my wish list. It is completely beautiful, and I am absolutely loving the artistry here, how the maker was able to pick up the stone opalite in this gorgeous bottle of polish. This shimmer polish is by Emily Damali. This is their encore offering called Opalite. This next one up is by Garden Path Lacquers, and this one is called Mama Needs a Night Off. There is no availability cap currently listed for this polish this month. Garden Path Lacquers continues their favorite book covers series with a polish inspired by Dungeon Crawler Carl by Matt Dinneman and Princess Donut's quote from book 2. Cats don't drink cocktails, I said. Cats don't shoot lasers from their eyes either, but here we are, Carl. Mama needs a night off. Mama Needs a Night Off has a golden yellow jelly base filled with various sizes of neon pink matte glitter, black metallic microflakes, and red orange aurora shimmer. Okay, the look of this polish is unlike anything I've ever seen. This is so completely original, and I have absolutely no clue as to the context of this inspiration. I don't know anything about this book, but oh my gosh, that quote actually sounds kind of hilarious. These colors, like in a way it's fall in a bottle, but it's so wildly cuckoo bananas that it's like, it's prugly, but yet it's gorgeous all at the same time. Like I need some time, I think, to process all that I'm seeing in this polish. I think I truly adore it. This golden yellow jelly base is really different. I don't think I own anything in this type of colorway. And the addition of all these components, I mean, neon pink matte glitter with this base, like that's fascinating. And then the black metallic microflakes seem to really kind of ground it. And then the red orange aurora shimmer. I mean, I would love to see this one in real life and see how this plays in the light. I've really never seen anything like it. I think I adore this one, but I might also need to sit with it a little bit just to make sure I can really see myself wearing this one in my life. But I love the originality. I'm really enjoying the unique color combination and all the components that are happening here. And I think this is yet another polish that looks so successful on all of the swatchers with all range of different skin tones. This really unusual polish is by Garden Path Lacquers, Mama Needs a Night Off. This next polish up is by Hearts and Promises, and this one is called Lapis Lazuli. This one is another capped offering with only 200 being made available this month. Hearts and Promises continues their Gemstones and Crystals series. Lapis lazuli has a bright marine blue jelly base with gold flakies and shimmer. With this being the September Hella Handmade Creations shop, I can't tell you how much I love wearing blues, especially these type of bold blues. These blues, also navy blues, anything resembling to me, anything even remotely denim-y in terms of blues. I love wearing this kind of thing in September. I am a teacher, and there's something about blues, especially denim blues, that just gets to me. And I wear quite a few blues in September, every September. I love how closely this one resembles the stone lapis lazuli. I have a really lovely, kind of basic, rustic lapis lazuli pendant that I love just wearing on a silver chain. This, I think, embodies that look so beautifully. I love wearing that pendant with fall dark denims, or really any type of denim. And I think that this nail polish is just like, it's perfection in the way it's interpreted that stone. That base color as well. I'd love to know how many coats these swatchers used in their swatch photos, because I love the depth of this color. It really looks like it has stunning coverage. In this one shot here, I am seeing a little bit of visible nail line peeking through, but I still think it's a gorgeous look. I have no problem with visible nail line at all. And in some ways, this kind of translucence that's being created here, to me, really echoes that gemstone look, that idea of light passing through a gemstone. I'm really enjoying this polish as well. You can see I'm going to be in a bit of trouble this month narrowing down my wish list. This incredible blue is by Hearts and Promises Lapis Lazuli. This next one up is by Hula Moon, and this one is called The Two Utes. This one is another cap pre-order polish with only 200 being made available this month. Hula Moon begins a new series inspired by My Cousin Vinny, with the first polish inspired by the outfit that Joe Pesci wears to court. In his Italian New York City dialect, Joe Pesci calls the two youths charged with a crime the two Utes, and the judge doesn't know what he is saying. The Two Utes is a deep, rich Cabernet hue that has small shifts between brown wine and some peaks of plum. It is infused with holographic glitter, but still manages to capture the suit's vintage flair. I've watched this movie quite a few times, and I especially loved watching it with my dad. So this one has quite an emotional pull for me. I love that movie, My Cousin Vinny. Actually, I haven't seen it in quite a while, so I hope it's aged as well as I think it has, because I just have such wonderful memories laughing along with my dad watching this movie. It was really quite spectacular, and I can't wait to see where this series goes. This polish, it looks so rich and vampy but sparkly. I find it looks so elegant. And I can see the suit that Joe Pesci wears to court in this colorway. Like it actually, I mean, it's making me laugh a little bit. If you haven't seen the movie, sorry about that it's making me laugh as much as it is. I really have to watch it again. It's great. But anyway, I think this is just an excellent interpretation of that moment in the movie. Oh, that color, the sparkle. It is interesting to me that it's saying that this is a deep, rich Cabernet hue that has small shifts between brown wine and some peaks of plum. I can very much see all that in these swatch photos. It's shifty and vampy and elegant. I'm really enjoying this one. Hula Moon is a maker where I have very few of their polishes. I've picked up only a very sparse number through Hella Handmade Creations, and I also have had the chance to purchase a couple of their offerings through the Breast Cancer Awareness Box, which happens only once a year through the Hearts and Promises website, usually at the end of August or beginning of September. So it is unfortunately closed for this year. But Hula Moon is one of those brands that I really wish I could support a little bit more. And I can see myself over the next several months going right to Hula Moon in these offerings to see what they're producing for their My Cousin Vinny series that they're offering for the next several months through Hella Handmade Creations. I can't wait to see where this goes. This incredible sparkly hollow Cabernet colored polish is by Hula Moon, the Two Utes. This next one up is by Lurid Lacquer, and this one is called If You Talk in My Head One More Time. This is another capped offering with only 900 being made available. That sounds like a very large number, 900, compared to some of the others. But Lurid Lacquer is quite a popular brand lately through Hella Handmade Creations and otherwise. So I will have to watch out for that cap and consider making a purchase right when the shop opens if this one does remain on my wish list. Lurid Lacquer continues their A Court of Tropes and Cliches series with a polish inspired by their surprise that more mind-communicating fey marriages don't end in divorce. If You Talk in My Head One More Time has a rich purple base with a purple shimmer and holographic flakes. So there are quite a few purple offerings this month, and this is certainly not the last one on my wish list at this point. So I am going to have to do some soul searching and studying of all the different swatch footage and photos of all these purples offered this month to see which ones do make the final cut. Now, it is interesting. This one is another gorgeous purple. This one is more, I would say, cooler purple leaning rather than the last one by Hula Moon, which had a more red aspect to it, that Cabernet wine kind of color. But it also has a bit of a shimmer aspect as well as a hollow aspect too. So there are some similarities. I do have to admit though, when I see this polish, I'm a little bit hesitant about this one because I do own Lurid Lacquer's Indomitable, and I actually haven't worn it yet. And that's a terrible thing that I haven't worn it yet. That was one of their incredibly popular polish releases through their own website, I think when they first launched their brand. And that purple was just so rich and gorgeous and popular. It was kind of a big hit when they first released, and I haven't worn it yet. And I don't know that this one, for me anyway, quite measures up to how I imagine Indomitable might look on my nails. So I'm hesitant about this one. I know that Lurid Lacquer is incredibly popular and has become a brand that so many people consider one of their top pick brands. There are, though, so many purples that I've got on my wish list this month, and I truly don't need all of them, and there's no way I can buy 21 different listings from my wish list this month. I have to cut it back to probably 1/3 of what I've got on here at maybe 7 polishes. I've overpurchased in some of the last few shop offerings through Hella Handmade Creations and also Polished Pickup. So I'm not quite sure about this one, but I'll do my research and see how this one fares as it comes closer and closer to the shop opening date. This rich purple hollow polish is by Lurid Lacquer, If You Talk in My Head One More Time. This next one up is by Night Owl Lacquer, and this one is called Don't Pretend You Care About Me, Werewolf. Night Owl Lacquer continues their Bob's Burgers series with a polish inspired by the Halloween episode where Bob is on painkillers and thinks Teddy has been bitten by a werewolf. Don't Pretend You Care About Me, Werewolf is a gray crelly filled with glowy iridescent flakes that shift blue-purple, charcoal sparkle micro flakies, and silver holographic micro glitter flake. There is no availability cap for this polish. Now, as I read that description, I was slightly relieved to hear that this one is not actually a purple-based polish. It's unbelievable how many purples I have on this wish list this month. So this one is a gray crelly with all these components. Lots of flakies happening here. It looks like quite a bit of a flaky bomb. The sparkle in this one is really something special. I love this close-up shot too. You can really see all the variation in all these different sized flakes, the sparkle happening in there. It's all a very cool and magical look. I could see myself wearing a polish like this one in the fall, in the winter, and also there's something about this one that's making me think of that thaw season, which in my part of the world happens probably February to March in most years, although this year I feel like it happened in April. It was so snowy and cold. But there's something so, I don't know, magical and ethereal and hopeful about this type of colorway. It's a little bit icy, it's sparkly. I'm really enjoying this one. And I can't say how relieved I am that this one does not have actually a purple base. It's just these components in here that are giving that purpley kind of lean to it. It looks like this one maybe is done, I'd guess, perhaps in about 2 coats. It looks like there is quite a lightness about this polish, and I'm kind of wondering if this one would be successful as a buildable offering. I'll have to do some research on this one and see if I can see anybody using this polish, perhaps even as a topper. It looks like it could have some topper possibilities, which would just add to its versatility and make it a little bit more of a smart purchase for me. The more I look at this polish, the more I'm liking it. I think it could have great versatility, perhaps as a topper, but also worn in 1 or 2 or 3 coats to get different looks and different levels of opacity. This really interesting flaky polish is by Night Owl Lacquer, Don't Pretend You Care About Me Werewolf. This next polish up is by Polish, and this one is their Halloween offering called the Mysterious Key, I think you'd call it. I'm not really sure how to pronounce that. Feel free to correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. This one has no availability cap this month. Polish has created a polish for Halloween to pair alongside their Stardew Valley series, inspired by the Mysterious Key. The Mysterious Key is a deep violet with scattered holographic pigment and red copper green shifting flakes. Now, I don't have a lot of context for Stardew Valley as the inspiration, but I love the way this polish looks. It has a lot of gorgeous fall vibes, not just Halloween vibes for me. It is really quite stunningly beautiful. This is one that has that effect of kind of burning embers on the nails. Or perhaps for me too, maybe the fallen leaf type look. Or maybe I'd be more correct in describing it as like a candle flame kind of look through this purple base. Whatever it is really quite gorgeous. I think this embodies a lot about this fall season, not just Halloween, but the entirety of the fall season. I do see a little bit of a frostiness or an iciness happening with this one too, with that cool effect, as well as the scattered holographic pigment happening here. This is another polish that is really appealing to me. This beautiful Halloween offering with all these flakies is by Polish, the Mysterious Key. This next one up is by Paint It Pretty Polish, and this one is called Sugar Spun Magic. This one is another capped pre-order polish this month, and I can't even believe this. There are only 100 of these being made available. That is an incredibly small cap, and for the amount that I love this polish, I might have to consider setting an alarm to be sure that I'm not asleep when the shop opens at 12:01 a.m. Eastern Time. So that's just after midnight for me. And I can't get over how small that availability cap is. Paint It Pretty Polish begins a new series inspired by childhood candy, with the first polish inspired by cotton candy. Sugar Spun Magic has a light blue base with a pink shimmer and pink shifting iridescent flakes. This polish is so light and beautiful and ethereal, airy, gorgeous. Recently, Paint It Pretty Polish released a collaboration collection alongside Freedom of Masculinity. It was a fairy-inspired collection. It was just so magical and ethereal, and I find that this one really matches that overall vibe. Paint It Pretty Polish has this magical way of doing shimmer polishes. There's just something so shifty and perfect about the way they delicately just shift and morph when you don't even expect it, really in any kind of lighting. I feel like the shimmer is a finish that they've very much mastered. The addition as well of these shifting pink iridescent flakes, I can only imagine how magical this one would look in real life. I feel that it really embodies that look of cotton candy. That's a treat that I haven't had in decades. I was really small the last time I ever enjoyed some of that, but it makes me want some. Taking a look at a decadent, light, fresh polish like this one. This is another polish that I think I could see myself wearing all 4 seasons of the year for a variety of different occasions. It really is just delicate and subtle, but so special. I think this one is one of my top picks this month as well. And Paint It Pretty Polish is another Canadian brand that I love to support any moment I get the chance. This delicate polish is by Paint It Pretty Polish, Sugar Spun Magic. This next polish up is by Psyche Minerals, and this one is called Imperfect Things Can Still Be Loved. This one is another capped offering with only 275 being made available. Psyche Minerals continues their children's book series with a polish inspired by corduroy. Imperfect Things Can Still Be Loved is a green jelly loaded with green reflective glitter, darker than our He's Still Hungry, and orange-red iridescent flakes. I love that they added the extra comment here comparing it to He's Still Hungry, because I did order that one a couple of months back. Being a green lover, this one is kind of a no-brainer for me to add to my wish list, but I was also a little bit hesitant because I love this finish by Psyche Minerals. I've never seen any other maker do anything quite like this, but I own several in this finish by them by now. This isn't the only green. As I said, I did order the He's Still Hungry polish from several months back through Handmade Creations. So at first I was thinking, do I really need another green? There's so much about this that I love though. I am an elementary teacher, and really early in my career, I taught kindergarten for many years, and I also taught grade 1 briefly as well. And corduroy was one of those books that we read every year, and it's a classic for a reason. It really is such a special story. And this color of the polish really does evoke that green that is so meaningful in this children's book. Psyche Minerals does this finish expertly. The way they treat their reflective glitter polishes with these added iridescent flakes, it's unlike anything I've ever seen. And it just looks beautiful in any kind of lighting. You don't need flash photography to showcase this polish. It looks beautiful in low lighting, in full lighting, in gorgeous bright sunshine, and everything in between. I think even indoor lighting is just as satisfying with a finish like this as anything else. So being a green lover, this one is on my wish list. I do love the fact that this one compares this here in the description to He's Still Hungry, but I will have to dig that one out of my collection. I haven't worn it yet to see truly how I think this one compares. I don't want to dupe myself, but I do trust this maker quite a bit. And if they say that they're different and that this one is darker, then I'm all in. This fantastic, reflective, flaky polish is by Psyche Minerals. Imperfect Things Can Still Be Loved. This next polish up is another one by Psyche Minerals. This one is their Halloween polish called The Great Pumpkin. This one is another capped pre-order polish with only 275 being made available. Psyche Minerals brings us a polish for Halloween inspired by Charlie Brown and The Great Pumpkin. The Great Pumpkin is an orange jelly loaded with orange copper reflective glitter and iridescent orange, red, and blue-green flakes. Now, first of all, just a moment ago, I was talking about this type of a finish polish by Psyche Minerals in green, and now here it is in orange. My dreams have come true. These are my two favorite colors, and here goes Psyche Minerals offering one of each this month. I've got both on my wish list, and I could see myself purchasing both of them this month. I love Charlie Brown and the Great Pumpkin. My family loves the whole Charlie Brown franchise and just all the nostalgia surrounding it, especially those older episodes. It is actually one of my favorite Halloween traditions. And I've already said how much I love this type of finish from Psyche Minerals. Now, I do own a couple of oranges from Psyche Minerals. One of them in particular I just bought actually from Polish Pickup, which was a little bit more of a coral leaning orange. I think there was a little bit more of a reddish pinkish aspect to it rather than this one, which I think leans a little bit more yellow orange compared with that other one. This one would, I think, be different enough in my collection from that last one, even though I haven't received it yet. They'll probably arrive at my house around the same time, actually. But I can remember that last offering through Polish Pickup was a lot more pink leaning, and I'd be safe. I wouldn't be duping myself with this. With this one, I find it kind of interesting that not only do they have the reflective glitter component, which is coordinating, it's an orange copper reflective glitter, which is quite cool, but it actually seems to list that there are two different types of iridescent flakes. There's orange red and blue green. I'm finding it really hard to see that in these swatch photos, those two different types of flakies. But I do totally trust this maker. And if they're in there, I believe that we'd see them. I find this a really rich, slightly burnt take on an orange as well. It is sort of a quintessential pumpkin orange, and I'm completely here for it. Psyche Minerals this month has just won an enormous place in my heart and in my shopping cart. This pumpkin orange reflective offering is by Psyche Minerals. This is their Halloween offering called The Great Pumpkin. This next one up is by Sassy Cat's Lacquer, and this one is called Palm Cran Glam. This one is another capped offering with only 100 being made available. Sassy Cat's Lacquer continues their All Things Sweet series with a polish inspired by cranberry pomegranate mousse pie. Palm Cran Glam has a magenta base with gold, orange, red shifting shimmer. Now that pie that's described there, that sounds so fascinating. I've had nothing like that. I love cranberries, especially when they're really quite bitter and almost unsweetened. But I've never had anything in the realm of like a cranberry pie, let alone a cranberry pomegranate mousse pie. It sounds fascinating. I love food. I'd probably give it a try. But let's get back to this polish. So Sassy Cat's Lacquer is a brand that I think carries out this type of a finish of a base color with some sort of a shimmer just so incredibly well. In this case, we have a magenta base with a gold, orange, red shifting shimmer. To me, it's a little bit hard to say without seeing it in person, but I guess that kind of takes on an analogous type colorway. So you've got kind of a cooler red base, a magenta base, with a warmer red shimmer, being a gold, orange, red shimmer. So kind of analogous if you're talking color theory. Something that I love about Sassy Cat's Lacquer shimmers that nobody else really does is they have this almost sea glass-like quality to my eye. The shimmer does tend to have a little bit of a sparkle to it, but there's something flawless. I don't really know how else to articulate how that finish looks in Sassy Cat's Lacquer shimmers, other than saying it's like flawless sea glass. No matter what the colorway, it seems to have that magical effect and truly flawless. Like it almost has a surreal finish to it. I really think that this would be a standout in my collection. I don't own anything by Sassy Cat's Lacquer that has this kind of a cranberry or pomegranate leaning colorway. I do have one red, but it is more like a cherry red, I guess, like a cooler red. Oh, and I think this one would just be so stunning for fall, for winter, for holiday season, even for summer, really for any time. I can't say enough about Sassy Cat's lacquer shimmer polishes. I've kind of fallen off purchasing them in the last little while. I have noticed that Sassy Cat's lacquer seems to have been offering a wider range of different finish polishes in Hella Handmade Creations over the last several months. And when I was purchasing from them, it was probably over a year ago, and it was always this type of shimmer finish. And I'm so excited to see it back, not only in this polish, but also in the next offering that has made my wish list. I love this one, and I'm so here for this finish by Sassy Cat's Lacquer. I'm in love with it. This beautiful pomegranate cranberry colorway is by Sassy Cat's Lacquer, Pom Cran Glam. This next polish up is trouble for me because it's not just one polish, it is a duo, only available together. This offering is by Sassy Cat's Lacquer. It's their Halloween duo, and the two polishes being offered here are Slay the Seance and A Ghoul's Night Out. This one is another capped offering with only 50 of these duos being made available. Sassy Cat's Lacquer brings us a duo for Halloween. Slay the Seance is a royal purple creme with glowy fuchsia shimmer. And then we have A Ghoul's Night Out, which is an olive creme with blue-green glowy shifty shimmer. So here we go. Again, Sassy Cat's Lacquer has absolutely found its way to like the core of my heart with 3 of these creme shimmer finish polishes that I adore. And this duo is just, I'm kind of speechless. I'm in love with this one. Let me first of all start by talking about the green. So this green, we've got another take on an olive creme base. There was an olive offering earlier by Colores de Carol, and this is really quite different. I think that this one seems like a bit of a lighter take on an olive. Both are true olive colorways, but it is interesting. I mean, in actual olives and that fruit, the olive, it does have so many different color variations and all the different varieties. And I can see an actual olive represented like with both of those polishes, both the Colores de Carol and this one. But this shimmer, oh my gosh, I love this shimmer running through this one. So this is described as an olive creme with blue-green, glowy, shifty shimmer. So it's kind of coordinating, but also analogous here in color theory. You've got the green with a blue. What a beautiful look. And then we've got the purple. This royal purple creme has a glowy fuchsia shimmer. So again, an analogous pairing happening here with the purple version of the polish. I love them both. I mean, my heart really goes out to the green one in particular. If these were offered separately, I would absolutely be purchasing the green, but I equally am captivated by the purple. It's that flawless finish that I'm seeing in every swatcher's photo that has me adding this one to my top picks. They really are beautiful, and it's like a creme effect, but better because it's got this added shimmer. I find it so hard to articulate how passionate I am about this Sassy Cat's Lacquer formula. This Halloween duo with the 2 creme shimmer polishes is by Sassy Cat's Lacquer. It's their Halloween duo offering of Slay the Seance and A Ghoul's Night Out. And finally, we've come to the final offering on my enormous preliminary wish list. This one is by Zombie Claw. This is their Halloween offering called Goblin Zoga, and I hope I'm saying that correctly. Zoga. This one is another capped pre-order offering with only 100 being made available. Zombie Claw has created a polish for Halloween inspired by a female goblin, and the name is a variant of the name Zog, meaning tough. Goblin Zaga, I'm guessing it's Zaga with the variation on the name Zog. So Goblin Zaga has a green ivy base with silver reflective glitter and purple mauve pigment. So that's actually interesting. I didn't at first get that there was reflective glitter in this one. So I'm really glad that I added this to my wish list and I saw that in the description. Not only do I love the look of this polish, but I love it even more knowing that it's got that added sparkle effect with the reflective glitter. I love reflective glitter in polishes. To me, it continues to have that sparkle unlike any other. Again, being a green lover, this one's a completely different take on a green. This one is described as being a green ivy base. To me, it has a little bit of a cooler effect than some of the other warmer olive offerings. It's got that reflective glitter. And can we also talk about that magical purple mauve pigment? That's really what was catching my eye when I first added it to the wish list. The shift in here is really unique. I see kind of a blue shift as well as that purple mauve effect. And I can only imagine how stunning this overall look would be with the addition of that silver reflective glitter. It's got that richness, that fall decadence, but yet there somehow is that lightness with the shimmer, with that purple mauve pigment, and I guess now with that silver reflective glitter. Zombie Claw is a polish brand that is not represented enough in my collection. I own very, very few by them, but every single one that I own is a standout. I adore each one of them. By purchasing this one, I think I'd still be under 5 Zombie Claw polishes in my entire collection. I appreciate them so much, and I love the look of this polish. I've never really seen a green quite like this one. As a green lover, I am utterly sold on this one. This one's another top pick of mine this month. This beautiful shifty green with that wonderful surprise addition of silver reflective glitter is by Zombie Claw. This one is their Halloween offering called Goblin Zaga. So that's it for my enormous 21 item wish list. Now there is no way I can afford to get all of these. Really, ideally, I'll be lowering this wish list down to maybe about 7 items. But I do have the added problem in that I've got a few duos in my wish list right now, which means that it drives the base price of the offering up quite a bit. I'll have to stick with some sort of a firm budget this month to make sure that I don't get out of control. But I can't say enough right now about these offerings. Hella Handmade Creations is just, it's another planet compared to when I first started purchasing from them several years back. So far, some of my front runners on my list are all 3 of these listings right here. That's Zombie Claw and that interesting shift and that bonus addition of the reflective glitter. All of these Sassy Cats offerings, both of these listings, the green and the purple in the duo as well as the red, I adore them all. These Psyche Minerals offerings, I really love both of these, and I could see myself adding both to my collection. Although I will have to pull out my other green offering by Psyche Minerals that I bought through Hella Handmade Creations several months ago, the one inspired by the Hungry Caterpillar, just to see how closely they compare. But both of these colors are stunning. That Paint It Pretty polish, another Canadian brand that I try to support at every turn. This polish is so delicate and ethereal and fairy-like. I love it. Then we run into trouble with all kinds of purpley leaning polishes. Although that Night Owl lacquer is deceptive to me, that actually has a gray base. I love the fallen leaves look of the polish. I love the incredible sparkle and I think the versatility of the Night Owl lacquer. And I think unfortunately this month, I'm going to find myself taking the Lurid lacquer off my wish list. I just think that I have Indomitable by Lurid lacquer. I don't know that I really need this hollow. So I'm taking it off my wish list now. And now jumping up into the space that was vacated by Lurid lacquer, we've got that Hula Moon. I love that one. I can't wait to see where Hula Moon is going to take this series inspired by My Cousin Vinny. That is such a family favorite movie and brings back so many just incredible memories of me laughing hysterically with my dad when we've watched this. The Hearts and Promises. I could see myself wearing this along with my lapis lazuli pendant. I really like that one. And even though I didn't list it in my top picks, this one's still hanging on there. Like I really love that blue. The creativity of that Garden Path lacquers, I've never seen anything like it. I'll have to see how the rest of my wish list stacks up and how the budget goes, because I do have to be kind of strict with myself budget-wise. Same goes for the Emily Damali. I passed it up once, I suppose, or maybe I just missed out on it if it's sold out. This is the Encore offering, and it was offered before. Why I didn't purchase it before, I'm not sure. This one's still on my wish list for now, but if something has to be cut, it might be that one, even though it is stunningly beautiful. Both of these cuticula polishes are front runners on my wish list. I've got to keep them on the wish list right now as well. In the scheme of things, this cracked polish might be cut. It still remains a gorgeous orange, and I don't think I have anything quite like it. But when I compare this one to some of the other standouts in my wish list, I don't know that this one is going to make the final cut. We'll have to see. I love orange, but I have to keep the budget in mind. On the other hand, though, this next cracked polish, that brown blue color, that bluish brown, that one is a standout for me and quite unique. I'm keeping that one on the wish list. And for now as well, the Colores de Carol is hanging on as well. I've got a number of greens on my wish list. I can't possibly get them all. But for now, I'll leave that on the wish list just to see how I can narrow down these green selections. Absolutely, I want to get the Cleona Cosmetics. I can see myself wearing this magnetic all the time for any occasion, any time of year. This one would be incredibly versatile. And now back to the beginning of the alphabet again with the Bee's Knees Lacquer and the Baroness X. I don't know that either one of these will hold on. That duo, I'm a little bit unsure still about that Hanged Man offering, the magnetic topper offering as part of the duo. I do like Cartomancy, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but do I really love it enough to knock off some of the others from my wish list? I don't know. And then this Bee's Knees Lacquer, I don't know if it's enough for me to just adore the brand. I'll have to do some further research for the Bee's Knees Lacquer offering this month, especially researching into some video swatch footage to see how this one stacks up. I love the silky, satiny application of every Bee's Knees Lacquer polish that I own. It's almost decadent to apply, but I have not been using my magnetic polishes enough to really warrant purchasing one that I'm kind of on the fence about. I like it, but I don't know that liking it is going to do it this month for this polish. These two offerings, Bee's Knees Lacquer and Baroness X, might find themselves off the wish list. The Hella Handmade Creations shop is open for wish listing now. It opens for wish listing every month on the 1st of the month, and the shop opens this month on the 14th, that's September 14th at 12:01 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and it remains open for an entire week, closing on September 21st, 2025 at 11:59 p.m. Hawaiian Time. This is an enormous shop this month, with the addition not only of the regular monthly offerings by each of the makers, but some of the makers have been invited back for encore polish offerings, as well as the Halloween themed shop, where several of the makers have contributed items there. There's also Overstock being released. This time, the new releases for Overstock are ones that were originally released in May 2025. So if you missed out on that month and you want to see some great offerings, check that out. I am completely avoiding it this month because my wish list is already too huge. And I know I shopped that month, and I'm pretty pleased with the items that I got. So I'm wondering, are you planning on shopping this month's Hella Handmade Creations? If you are, which items are catching your eye? Also, I'd love to know all your thoughts about my wish list. Please share any thoughts, any insights you might have about my picks this month. Which ones of my picks are your favorites? Help me narrow down this enormous wish list. Really, I should narrow it down to 7 items. I'll have to figure out my top limit dollar amount before I shop to make sure I stay within it. this month is mind-blowingly good. So please feel free to add all your comments and we can continue on the conversation long after. Do you enjoy wish listing videos like this one? If you do, please consider giving this video a like. It indicates to me that I'm doing a good job. And by giving it a like, it signals to me that you enjoy content similar to this. And in the months ahead, I'll try my best to produce content like this moving forward. As well, if you enjoy nail-related content in general, please consider subscribing. I release nail content as often as I can, and by subscribing, you won't miss out on any of the fun. Thank you so much for joining me this month. Happy shopping and happy Halloween, as branded by Handmade Creations. Hopefully I'll see you again in the next one. Take care. Bye.